Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Monday, July 22nd, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 2024. A plasma filament that ejected off the sun on Sunday is headed our way and should make impact with Earth on Tuesday, the 22nd. Could see G2 geomagnetic storm. And that could mean aurora to the low latitudes. Keep calm. It's boom time. Most airlines, except one, are recovering from the CrowdStrike tech outage. The feds have noticed. CrowdStrike's CEO is now warning of a hacking threat as the outage persists. Roughly 8.5 million users of Microsoft Windows devices were affected. Now, folks, if this is simply from an update, can you imagine what an actual cyber attack will do? Wind and hail destroy 500 acres of crops for a local farm that supplies craft breweries. Todd Olander, owner of Root Shoot Malting, said the storm stole much of the $500,000 in gross revenue. And he's not the only farmer that are losing crops from hail this season. Firefighters responding to over a dozen new fire starts after thunderstorms rumble through Bend, Oregon, with lightning, rain, and hail, and lots of pop-up storms in the Pacific Northwest as thunderstorms strike Portland. Thousands lose power on Sunday morning. Here is a quick look at the smoke map, and take a look at the number of storms up here in Oregon and Washington, and all of them producing smoke. Good news, most of it's moving north. So it's Western Canada that's choked out currently. The southern U.S. is in the clear. The northern U.S., a lot of haze, especially Montana and North Dakota and Minnesota. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about there. Leave a comment below if you've got smoke in your neck of the woods. And here's the full forecast. Dangerous heat continues in the west. Multiple areas of excessive rainfall possible today. Dangerous heat continues across the west with widespread excessive heat warnings and heat advisories. I'm sure you know where those are. The west should be in relief from hazardous heat by Friday, so that heat is going to dissipate through the week. The heat will expand into the northern plains on Tuesday, heavy to excessive rainfall into the mid-Atlantic, to the Carolinas and southern Rockies, and West Texas into the Arklatex may lead to areas of flash, urban, and stream flooding. This is a persistent pattern that will extend all the way into August, so heed the warnings. And a quick look over at the total precipitated accumulation of precipitation shows you those massive numbers in the east and the southeast. We are talking 4 and 5 inches at the minimum, and some areas receiving 6, 7, and 8 inches through the first week of August. So a good pattern for most of the country, especially those in need of rain. But the biggest area is the Pacific Northwest with all those fires, and there appears to be a dry hole in the valleys of California and the deserts of the Pacific Northwest. So our thoughts and prayers go out to those people in the regions with all these fires currently burning. Oh, just started raining outside here. Let's take a quick look at the GFS model here of the U.S., and you're going to see how that stormy pattern is going to continue to move across the U.S. Texas, the nexus of the Schmexes, as well as Louisiana, is going to be seeing some pop-up storms now and through the evening, dropping south into the Gulf. But that will continue through Tuesday. Wednesday here, we could see some spicy activity in the southeast. Thursday and into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The rain continues to pummel the east, so it is looking like a dreary, wet pattern for much of the rest of July. Seismic activity increases beneath the Kilauea summit. We reported on this last night as it was occurring, but an article coming out today confirming that earthquake activity beneath Kilauea's summit and upper east rift zone increased over the past 24 hours. Hawaii Volcano Observatory reported today. Over the past 24 hours, there were 67 earthquakes detected. Detected beneath Kilauea's summit, and approximately 172 earthquakes detected beneath the upper east rift zone. mostly at depths of 0 to 1.2 miles beneath the ground surface. An increase in earthquake counts was also observed beneath the summit in the Upper East Rift Zone compared to the previous day. Substantial increases in seismicity or deformation could result in a new eruptive episode. Currently, no signs of imminent eruption. Seismic update. Low-level activity worldwide. Some aftershocks from that 6 magnitude that we reported on yesterday in Vanuatu. Overall, low-level activity. Quick look at space weather shows the sun is going quiet here over the last 24 hours, dropping into low-level sea range. But some spicy activity nonetheless coming from the sun. Most recently, just moments ago, a fast-moving, impressive halo coronal mass ejection emerging in the latest imagery courtesy of Stereo Ahead here. Based on the imagery of the Solar Dynamics Observatory, the event took place well beyond the west limb. So this was a major sunspot that had turned to the back of the sun, and none of this is headed our way, directly away from Earth. This is one of those X-type flares that just keeps coming on the backside, but not on the front side. We've only had one phase of solar activity this entire cycle that was Earth-facing, and that was the superstorm that we just all experienced. But this one is no threat at all. There was a filament eruption prior to this on Sunday, which is Earth-facing, and that is headed our way. Currently, G2 geomagnetic storm forecast for July 24th, and we can just move it through here for you on Soho so you can take a look at this halo CME. We're going to back it up here, and we'll move it forward. As you can see, that halo moving out from center disk in all directions here, care of LASCO C3. We'll just play it, and we'll just let LASCO C3 run through. You're going to see a CME off the side, and then a halo right there. Let's stop it and reverse it for you. We'll bring that halo back, and you can see how that plasma is moving in all directions away from the sun. And that plasma is headed our way, and that could be bringing us some low-level geomagnetic storms starting on Wednesday, maybe during the middle of the day, unfortunately, which would be bad news for aurora watchers. But we'll be keeping a close eye on telemetry as the plasma moves towards Earth. The WSA Enlil spiral is going to show that filament emerging here on the 22nd. Early on the 22nd, it looks like two filaments, one behind the other here. They're going to stack up there, and boom, right there early on the 24th is impact. And there you can see the double sheath that I was talking about that came out initially being shown here in the later phase. So this could be a pretty good long-duration geomagnetic storm, in my opinion, probably up to 9 hours of powers. So stay tuned because, well, we just haven't had any aurora in quite some time, and we are at solar max after all. Worldwide volcano news. Ertaale in Ethiopia, intense lava flow eruption in the southern pit crater here, imaged from satellite imagery from Sentinel. It's actually Copernicus, my bad. Semeru puffing to 15,000 foot today, Dukono to 8,000, Sungay to 22,000. Here we see Etna, minor Strombolian eruption from the Voragine crater last night. And more beautiful images there from Etna. The explosive activity at Villa Rica continues. Fuego to 15,000 feet, Ibu to 6,000, Sungay to 18,000, Sakurajima, 8,000 foot puff today. Etna continues puffing and passing to 12,000 feet. How do you like them apples? Bezamiani on the list to 15,000, Fuego to 15, and that wraps up worldwide volcano news for the 22nd. That was a little reversed. We did space weather before volcanoes. Isn't that interesting? Guys, it is garlic harvest season. I just harvested over 100 stalks. I got 100 more to harvest tomorrow. And what you do with your garlic and your onions when you harvest at this time is you lay them out on a table, take a little bit of the dirt off in a cool, dark place in your barn and let them sit in the air, spread out for about 2 weeks. Get some just to the right dryness that you can then braid your garlic. If you've never heard of braiding your garlic, it's a way to store it in your kitchen for all season, and it keeps a little fresher. Braiding helps the garlic last longer in storage. It's a more aesthetically pleasing option than throwing your bulbs in a simple mesh bag. And we're going to leave you links on how to braid your garlic below, because when you braid your garlic, it looks awesome. And you can even sell it at the farmer's market, hang it up on one of your pot racks, and it imparts a delicious smell in the kitchen. How do you like them apples? Now, over the weekend on Magnetic Reversal News, we discussed the topic of red ochre. This article on red ochre in history doesn't really hit the nail on the head, but it does give some great background into the use of this mineral for sunscreen, for goodness sakes. And many tribes still, including the Himba, use it. This indigenous tribe of 20 to 50,000 people in the northern region of Namibia still use red ochre for their skin, and they have some of the best skin on earth. So maybe not only is it good for your skin, but it's also good to protect from the harmful effects of the sun. Red ochre is easy to come by and would be a great prep moving forward to survive and thrive in the future. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. We don't even know who the president currently is. It's been 5 days since we've seen Sleepy Joe, and lots of things are not adding up. Hit the thumbs up. It's free, and it helps with the algorithm. Be safe. We love you, and that is a boom.